Hey everybody, welcome back to Trek Tuesdays. It is a full house again tonight. Well, sort of. We lost our disembodied voice, but me, John, and Stan are here tonight. We're going to watch the next two episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, The Naked Now and Code of Honor. So no spoilers for a 35-year-old. That's the fourth one, right? Oh, I was like, I hear John twice. What's happening? I've heard tales. I don't actually remember ever seeing this episode, so this is going to be brand new to me. So, yeah. Oh, wait. You know what I just realized? Nobody can hear you guys. Hold, please.
16 like this isn't a you thing. You have 16 different things that you have to deal with
I
with right.
have a Rube Goldberg streaming device. Yeah, so there's Benji. Yeah, I think I fixed it. Can one of you guys talk for me?
I can always talk for you.
All
I'm very
I
good at
will
that, actually.
never. I've never had an opinion about anything in my life.
right, Benji. Is Stan lying? Um, yeah, I forgot to turn you guys on. So, A
Well,
plus at
I
my
don't
job,
I don't
y'all.
need to be turned on. Thank you. It's always on.
We're just gonna hit a reset on tonight, y'all. Um,
Mm,
and you can at least stand on mute. Hey, I didn't say it.
rude.
I did not say it.
I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice.
We're watching Code of Honor. Okay. Well, like I said, I don't know anything about. I know. Um, I read the description. We'll leave it at that. But we know how reliable descriptions are. But we're gonna roll into the first one, and then we'll take a little break afterward, and then I might have people left to watch with me when we watch the second one. So, Luke, I have a question on your face, Stan.
Uh, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to throw you.
Oh God.
I just.
Oh
I would.
God. You're gonna work if you're gonna throw me. I'm 6'3". So it's
No, um, I I hate I hate when my guests are not prepared for our stream, and I am breaching my own protocol here. I did not realize that we were going to be watching Code of Honor,
Yeah, I
um,
just thought it was
and I
taken
don't
down.
and I don't want to throw your programming or suggest anything to you, but I will say now that I will not be providing commentary for that episode. I'm glad it's still up to be seen. Uh, it was not written to be the racist nightmare it ended up being, but the director took it in a horrible direction. There is a valiant attempt from Denise Crosby and the underlying story to have something interesting for Tasha Yar there, but its execution is just overtly racist and should not have happened. And so beyond that, I don't feel comfortable providing commentary on it.
uh-huh.
And and and
So
and
hmm.
you haven't seen it, so you have no idea why I'm saying this. But so I
Well,
apologize
now
for
I'm concerned,
you.
Stan.
I mean, I'm not saying don't watch it.
Oh no,
That's just the lens with
I
which
hear
I will
you.
watch it.
I very much hear you. I'm just quite concerned now. When the leader of an alien culture takes a romantic interest in Lieutenant Yar, he claims her for his own, to the dismay of his own wife, who in turn challenges Yar to a fight. Please hold while I expand IFTB. To a fight to the death. Okay. Well, that should
See,
be
it
interesting.
that description sounds fine. And then you have the director cast all black people in
For the
this
entire
alien
planet.
race. They
Oh.
look human. The costumes look like a stereotypical village in Africa.
Is this another case of a Trek not living up to Trek?
Yes, very
Okay.
much.
I believe it's actually where they began the concept of Trek not living up to Trek.
I'm gonna have to push back on
I
that a little bit.
remember
They've been doing
what
that
Klingons
since-
were in the original series.
Yeah, Star Trek has not been living up to its own values from the jump, but valiant effort nonetheless from the rest of it.
So to answer your question, Benji, I might be the only one left watching Code of Honor by the end of the stream, but that's
I
the
hadn't
second
caught that
episode
he
on
threw that
today's
in there
show.
too.
What'd you say?
I hadn't caught that he put that in there.
Yeah,
Oh God, we're watching Code of Honor.
Well, first up is what the description says is the drunk episode. So
Mm.
let's roll with.
This one's only vaguely problematic, not
Oh.
overtly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is.
It was a horrible way to introduce the fans to a new crew, but
Episode 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. Let's let them act completely out of character. Characters you don't know yet.
Yay!
But some fun stuff for Yar, fun stuff for Crusher, almost a fun moment for Troy, and then it is a mess. Data and Yar have an interesting interaction here. Obviously,
Wait, is this the
virus-
episode where he
it is.
inserts his USB?
He is fully functional, programmed in multiple techniques. Yes.
Wow.
and you
I
can
did.
figure out
Why
the
is this the
chronology.
third episode out the gate?
It makes no fucking sense that a virus affects him, but sure.
So
Okay.
Gene Roddenberry
Yeah.
was looking to see if he could retread some old storylines with higher budget values. And unfortunately, after this one came out, everybody flipped out and said, no, this sucks. And he stopped doing it right after that.
Gotcha.
Until
He
Devil's
rewrote this episode significantly. The writer of this episode is not listed. It's a pseudonym.
There's also this episode is a good example of why they started pushing Roddenberry further and further out of creative control.
Oh.
Mhm.
In all due respect to Gene, your overall vision, wonderful. Your execution individually, not so much. I did. We missed the voiceover, but the captain of that ship, or at least whoever answered the hail, was a woman. She's like, "Are there any pretty boys over on the Enterprise?" It's so funny.
Mhm.
That's great.
And the answer is yes, there are pretty boys over in the
They
Enterprise.
changed the walls. The red alert normally goes down the middle, and they covered it with bigger sheets to just make it look just a little different from what you saw on the Enterprise. A wild party.
Oh, look, it was my TV in the 90s. It's,
Set to one of the softcore porn channels, just
Right?
trying to see
Trying to see
some bit of
something.
boob or ass. That's right, Data. You don't get sucked out into space.
By the way, we need to go back and look at the blooper reel after this because some of the best bloopers came from this episode, including that one where he says, "Correction, sir, it's sucked out." Wait.
Yeah. There's also second
Oh.
episode in a row that we have frozen bodies.
Oh, I wonder if it's the same.
and a chair from the original series.
Oh,
Oh, I
in the
do
back
recognize
window.
that from a few episodes I saw.
oh, these
And
people.
this is basically the captain. Oh, and there's another one. The captain's quarters from the movies, basically. Just
I love that
redressed
the
a
two
very
people
little bit.
on the bed are just like
chilling.
chilling out.
Get it? Because
And
they're chilling.
this poor bitch is like, I didn't know it was going to be an orgy, so I'm just going to step into the shower fully clothed.
Oh, I thought
plot
that was.
Mention that's the sonic shower from the motion
Sorry,
picture.
guys. I thought it was a closet, and I was like, everybody's fucking, so she's in the closet. So,
Susie's not paying attention to me. I'm going to go hide.
bum, bum, ba.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I was like, are they leaving the planet already?
Huh.
This is a cool intro, though. Like, I'm not sure which. I'm not a big fan of DS9s, but
Ooh, sacrilege.
Yeah, I was gonna
Eh.
say I like DS9s.
it's just a bunch of flying around DS9.
Oh, you meant the intro, not the series.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't seen the whole series
I mean,
yet.
still wrong, but
the intro
not
gets
as
better.
egregious.
Yeah.
I love that intro. It's very
I like the rock beat better for the later
Interplay.
seasons when they updated it.
I like them. It felt like pensive and melancholic somehow at the same time.
Is William Wells your Will? Will, is that you? He said Naked Now is a copycat of Naked Time from Toss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. No, yeah, I meant the intro, sorry. I love the Voyager one. But I do like the zoom out of the soul system.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, the first, and I've told John this. I have not told you, Stan. The first Trek series that I ever watched from start to finish as it aired was Enterprise. So my first exposure to a Trek intro was the musical.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Like, why did they take the words out of the other ones?
There's words in other ones?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know that name.
All right, everybody get in close. We still have shitty cameras.
That's one of the things I noticed in Voyage. I think I said last week. They just like, or I might have said it during our Sunday game. There are so many times when crew members, even like Janeway, would just stand uncomfortably close in the camera angle. I'm like, well, what in the hell? Be like, please back
Voyager
up.
also had
So why are there
Yeah.
multiple levels of decontamination? Shouldn't it just be decontamination? Wouldn't you want it set to max every time?
They probably shouldn't have gotten rid of that decontamination chamber either.
Or the gel. If they're not decontaminated, why are they all just chilling there together?
Look at that story by J. Michael Burnham. That is not the right name.
Michael Burnham.
Bingham. J. Michael Bingham. That was actually DC Fontana. She asked to have her name removed after Roddenberry rewrote it so heavily.
Benji, I did not notice
So
Venetian blinds on the starship.
Also, first time they showed a track order.
This is terrible writing. And I hate that. I hate saying that, but like for him to act weird is one thing, but for him to be a complete dick and they're like, I mean, they needed to be very clear that something was amiss, but ugh. This was the one where in the my friend's podcast that I did where it was What would you do differently? I made this strictly a Beverly episode. This is a medical mystery. It's already ripe for it.
Oh yeah,
There's
that would be.
interesting stuff with Tasha and Data, but make it less like
Anybody else?
it. No. It's not the people that bother me. It's the execution. There's also there's a I'm gonna keep skipping ahead, and this is probably annoying for the audience. Sorry, but there's a weird moment with Jordy later where he talks about his blindness, and it like I I I can see, so like I don't want to speak for those who are blind, but it has always felt odd to me that like they would go with the trope of the disabled character who is already not played by a disabled actor,
Hey,
longing to be able-bodied
hey,
when
look, it's fabric over the windows of the lounge.
Yeah, it's what Benji was saying.
No, he was talking about. Wasn't he talking? Yeah, he was talking about the blinds in the back of her office. I'll show you
60
those
looks
later.
cooler.
See, that's the observation lounge.
Mm.
See, that's a good point. Benji is saying the thing he likes about this is even though it's really early in the series, they all have great chemistry.
Yeah,
Some better than others.
So, yeah. So my assumption is Data is the only one that's not going to be affected by this, right?
Data
that is a
is
great assumption. That is an
Oh
assumption that
wait,
makes 100%
wrong.
like logical sense, but it is not correct.
all right then. She did not do a very good job of confining him to sickbay.
No.
So he went to
He's like,
find the
"Well, I'm gonna
teenager.
go find your
Okay,
son, bitch.
so
You want to keep me here? I don't think so."
so you've seen this device in lower decks, Jake. That device is on the shelf in their quarters. The
Oh,
tractor repulsor. That's where it came from. Was
oh, that's cool. Let me tell you something, Stan. When we watch Lower Decks, me and John, it's like having a built-in AI Easter egg finder
That
because
sounds like a
John
nightmare.
knows like all these
hey
things.
now.
No, it's actually kind of fun. The things I thought the damn chair in the Starbase 80 was Professor X's.
Oh my. Oh, that was fun though. The way you cut that through when I pointed out everything in the room.
Don't touch him. He's a child.
Oh, there are plenty of
He
things
just
there
said
you don't
chief.
understand.
Who is the chief engineer right now?
One of several people. They go through several in the first season.
Oh, it's getting hot in here.
So Gates McFadden thought that she was given this episode to do her original audition for.
Mhm.
And so
What?
she thought the doctor was going to be this hysterical laugh a minute person through the whole series when she initially agreed to do it after reading through the script,
Gotcha.
and she was very upset when it wasn't at all. She thought she was going to be the hilarious character of the show.
This is such bad dialogue. Tasha, I need your help. I'm just security. I can't do anything other than security. I'm just a woman.
She seems
In
embarrassed that he's taking
shallow,
this.
that he's taking his
He wants he wants to see in shallow, beautiful human ways,
Hmm.
huh.
but only for about 10 episodes. Oops, sorry.
Oh, that security was. Never mind. Yeah, I'm wrong.
So the chief engineer is Sarah McDougal in this episode, but only in this episode. And then we get Lieutenant Commander Argyle, Lieutenant Logan, Leland T. Lynch.
You know, Benji, I think you might be right. I think did Ollie use that last week in Lower Decks?
It was
Used.
used recently in Lower Decks, yes.
Sickbay did look pretty cool like this.
Mm. Yeah. I think I remember reading that dark, the dark circular panel there, they were having too much trouble seeing the camera in it because it would reflect everything.
Oh.
Same with the conference room. For the first season, you see lights and cameras in the reflection, and sometime toward the end of the first season, definitely by the beginning of the second season, they just took all the they took the windows out.
Will says I didn't sign up for other positions. Hey, I still never got an answer, Stan. Like 3 months ago, I inadvertently asked the entire Salon trick what their favorite positions were without realizing what I was asking. And
I was going to
you
say
all
you're
about
gonna be
died.
more specific unless
Exactly. And Trevor gave me 5,000 bonus points for inadvertently hitting on everyone.
Yes, I remember this.
But I never got an answer.
What position and what? What was your actual question
Like,
again? Because my mind went to the same place again.
as soon as he said, I was like, "Oh, that was a stupid ass thing to ask." Um, Chief engineer, medical officer,
oh, on a starship.
random alien you brought from the Delta Quadrant. Yeah, right. It's.
I think I would. I'm leaning into my own professional life. I'd probably be in operations. Like, I don't. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how this shit works, but I know how to put things together and transfer power and why we don't use opti cable over in this doodad
Ooh.
anymore.
First time Kirk is mentioned. Also, in the original version of this, the image of the ship was the movie version, and they corrected it for the special edition. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Just
No, no. I do remember seeing it as the motion picture version, and I was like, oh yeah.
Also, they called it the Constitution class Enterprise here. It's the first time in canon that the term Constitution class had ever been used. It had been in books and other media for decades, but
Is this?
so they're referencing the original show, The Naked Time.
That's what I was saying. Is this is the reference to what I think Will was talking about earlier.
And he's absolutely secure. This is not absolute.
Security breaking into her quarters. Tisk. Tisk, I say.
I would love to see a security officer dressed in a floral summer dress.
Question's not for you. She purchased it for herself.
I do not understand the whole that's not yours, it's mine. In
I don't think that's not.
No, they weren't doing that.
Oh, okay.
No.
It was me doing that.
What she was saying is it doesn't fit your vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was just odd writing. I've from the first time seeing it at 15 years old, I thought it's not for you. That's a really weird way of saying it's not your style.
Well,
That sounded very
Gene
Middle Eastern.
Roddenberry writing this poorly for women characters. It's not a shock.
Also, there's a scene that DC Fontana did not write that we're going to see here in just a bit with Data and Tasha that it's believed now had been put in because there had been quite a few people that were making assumptions on Tasha and her sexuality. So, being that it was 1987, they decided to prove otherwise.
The Dark Ages.
Oh. It's a bummer.
Look what I can
everybody.
do.
I like that he went from lifting a moderately weighted chair to
Shit.
this tiny little thing.
Right. This is better.
Yeah, there is.
I was going to say, why would you be in the sick bay with a virus on the loose?
Yeah. Well, because he got infected by Geordi when Geordi went
But
to...
does he know it?
He does not.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that they're infected until somebody like says, "Hey, you're acting weird." And it's also weird. Like this was one of the main things that I changed in my like if you could change it. There's no universe in which she would allow her son to leave if he was acting weird. She's the
Exactly.
doctor and he's her child. I listen, it's a little problematic, but I love this moment.
Okay.
Also, it was a pretty dang big deal that they put the camera right on her butt that whole time leading into that scene. I remember originally going,
I'm
wow,
sorry.
they're getting away with so much.
Well, first, why does Data have a bloodshot eye? Second, it's taking 41 minutes to download something in the 2350s or 70s or whatever.
Yeah, their projection technology was off by a few hundred years. Apparently.
Yeah.
But,
Good
and he
grief.
just gave him good news that we could get away even with half impulse power, yet then the music cue was dun dun dun. There's Sarah McDougal.
Got it.
Who swears you can't do anything. I mean, she is like the anti-Scotty.
Yeah, I hated
Assistant
it. Like we see a woman as a chief engineer and then she's basically portrayed as incompetent.
You can't do that. It won't work. Every word out of her mouth was how we're screwed.
That's
On the other hand, he's really funny. Also, notice engineering is not set up correctly yet. It had a
hey, the
hallway
Galaxy
in the
class is a modular starship. I know that. My one fact about Galaxy classes. The uniform I'm wearing was made before. Nice.
Nice.
I'm sorry, what? She looks so confused.
I love the fact that they're all completely confused at the fact that he's managed to
Dude, Picard is going to murder this kid.
Of Picard's voice.
This, well, yeah. Again, another couple hundred years behind. But
ooh, I just noticed mustache. Hello.
Oh, I didn't see.
On the left?
Yeah.
Oh.
Back. Getting fresh.
He really is. I never noticed that.
All of them. I hate this. Like, oh, they're gonna be entranced by a force field, and it's gonna become the most common technology on the planet.
Yeah, the pool table isn't there, and there's a hallway right up against
A
things
pool
instead of
table?
back further. Yeah, the control the table, they called it the pool table on the set because it kind of looked a little like one.
Hmm.
I love this. Here you go.
Oh. Ah. So that is where that comes from in Picard.
No, actually, that was a joke from the very first episode. Or no,
Jean-Luc.
Hit her in the head if you have to. Where we can all get infected at once. This is
Everybody be
like,
sure to congregate.
have they not heard of social distancing? Like,
nope.
everybody shares straws.
Here you go. You'll like this, Jake.
Oh, this is wow.
Yeah.
One day.
Good on you, Denise Crosby, though. Good lord. Got a little Superman curl there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gonna make it weird. It's so weird. Like, I was stranded on this planet with rape gangs. Now, do you want to have sex? Like, what on earth was Gene Roddenberry thinking writing
Jeez.
this? Like, my God. It is wild that Star Trek was able to be a thing.
Survived,
Like,
yeah.
like, whoo, that original pilot, a good chunk of TOS, no offense, Tosser friends, and this first season, although it is ironic. So on the Salon, we do these thumb wars on occasions where we just speed round through a season, thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways on the
A
episode.
weird grin.
And it was
Watch him go down on the bed. This is great. Sorry, this is
yeah, no.
legitimately funny. Oh,
I vaguely remember
they
something
cut
like
that.
it's more like
Yeah.
like a board,
He
right?
flops down and his legs go up in the air. It's
Yeah.
great.
But that thumb war
Huh.
started because Trevor made the point that there are more uh thumb up episodes. Basically, he didn't say it like that. There are more good episodes in season 1 than there are in season 7. And everybody's like, that is a wild assertion. And then we did our thumb wars, and we're like, yeah, we had more thumbs up in season 1 than season 7.
That's awesome.
Even though
Bill.
they were great season.
Last time she calls him Bill.
Bill?
Mm-hmm. Well, William. I mean,
Lines, William.
Oh, yeah,
Bill.
William.
Bill, I need you. There's so many tense smiles. What are you doing, Gene Roddenberry? You wrote such a progressive possibility, and then you're like,
And let's make it horny.
yeah. Which fine, but like, why can't she be powerful and horny? Why does she need to be carried?
Sometimes somebody likes to be carried. I don't know.
Listen, I'm fat, but I would love to be carried, and
Again,
someday.
6'3". You show me a man that can carry me, I will show you a man who's been on steroids since he could walk. Oh god.
Yeah, there's so many like this episode is not overtly problematic, but it it dances the line in so many ways for multiple women, all of their women characters, frankly. The
Although in the
doctor,
third movie, they did pay that off because he just said he had never seen a sunset or a sunrise. And then he gets to when his eyes regenerate in third.
yeah. Well, they know that shit happens through. Well, wait, no, they're about to figure it out.
There are the blinds in the background, Jake. Behind her.
The what?
The blinds.
I do love this about Riker, though. He is so horny all the time that this virus means nothing to him. Watch
I
the rest
mean,
of this episode. It does not impact
Oh,
the least.
here's our
did he
introduction to
pull?
isolinear optical chips.
I just at any moment I feel like he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna whoop your ass, kid." Like, it's been 3 episodes in a row where Wes has been kind of a punching bag for him.
Yeah. And in this episode, even though he causes the problem, he at least solves it.
Oh, that's good. Like a war staring at that guy. That patience is wearing thin.
I've used that line before.
I agree, Benji. I like
feel
that line.
strange, but also good.
I've had many friends use that when they are trying to tell me they can drink themselves sober. You know a couple of them, John.
Mm-hmm. Skipper.
Skipper.
God, I really wish anyone had used that for the rest of the 7 years.
This is
Doesn't
also ridiculous.
I was gonna say, doesn't it take like eons?
Well, not when you're in the same system with it.
No, I mean for a star to collapse.
Well, yeah. Sonic screwdriver.
That's awesome. Isn't it a portable device?
Mm-hmm.
So how are they going to turn off the power to the portable device?
I know where the answer is. The captain's uniform.
Mm. In the arms of the man who brought back my dead husband. The thing that gets me about the star data, it makes no fucking sense. In my fix it on the other podcast, the idea I came up with was Geordi, because of his insanity, decided to write a subroutine for Data to show him what intoxicated was like, and it foreshadows his engineering prowess.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really brilliant.
Thanks. Tell the writers in 1987. And I was only 2, but I was available for hire. No, I wasn't. That sounded very weird.
This was not scripted, by the way.
Damn it.
No, she splayed out over his desk. What gave it away?
Hey, is that the painting that's in his house in Picard?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I love that this was her audition scene. If anybody out there watching has not listened to Gates talk about her audition process, it is hilarious. She was very nonchalant about it. She told them no twice because she was going to go do a play instead. But the audition process, she walked in and the person staffing the desk was like, "Which one do you want to read for?" Like they didn't even pull her in for a specific role. So she looked at the three women characters, which were a little different at that point, but still roughly the same. And she was like, "Oh, she saw this scene. This is funny. This is what I'll audition with. I want to audition to be the doctor." And that's why we got Gates McFadden as Dr. Crusher. And like, how wild would it be, like a Gates McFadden as Tasha Yar? That what if
Yeah.
scenario needs to be.
Wave. By the way, Jake, I think I'm gonna have to pull rank here and ask you to run back like 30 seconds. A little bit further. A little bit further. It's when they're standing in the middle of the room. Here we go, right here. Listen to him and the sound he makes when she gets up close to him.
What the hell?
And it's called acting, sir.
Just cough near her.
Did she touch him at all?
You owe me
No.
something.
That's been pointed out before. Wow.
Did she just tell him that he owes her because of...
Yep. Mm-hmm. Please.
Which could have been a very interesting, like, oh, she thinks he's responsible for
Mm-hmm.
Jack?
death.
Yeah.
But then he gives her that cute little wave.
Like, no, we're gonna play it for laughs. I love that
And
Worf would have no way of knowing that Riker was infected too. But like, if Gene Roddenberry wasn't going to remember that he already wrote Riker as infected, then why should anybody else?
Oh, look. Oh, he's back on the bridge.
See, the problem with this is in the original version, the graphic just showed the ball of light. It did not show the chunks of stuff flying out. So Worf says, what we're seeing is a chunk coming right at us, and there was nothing coming right at us.
It is also like seeing extra shit was helpful because for the rest of this episode, they're just going to show one piece
That one.
amazingly headed straight for the ship.
What's up, Diggs?
Never mind how massive a star is, even the smaller ones.
Right?
I love that she uses the kindergarten teacher voice on the two of them. Watch. This is great.
Another thing, I hate to be this guy, and I love to be this guy. It makes no fucking sense that this galaxy class state of the art starship can be broken down by just pulling some
do it. 2
in a
hours, 3.
hallway
Sorry.
where nobody else, like where everybody can get to, like just
right.
And yes, why is the chief engineer very nothing can happen.
I mean, Scotty would say he couldn't do it either for 2 hours, but then he'd do it in 5 minutes. So
It's pretty
He's so
close.
right.
the star material was also bright blue in the original version. This is also there's a couple of really funny bloopers from this year too, where the game where he grabs Data by the shoulders and just kind of shakes him.
Oh.
I love that he backs up. Like that's gonna help.
One piece of the star headed towards us, very gingerly.
Can you just
Of
get
course
some
it
of the
would.
power back online and dodge for the rock?
And also, like, it's gonna hit them, but like, how bad that could that how like it's gonna be catastrophic, but would it push the ship?
Right.
We're gonna find out.
Watch.
But
Let's just you see him do a little hop.
Hop. Beverly.
What
This
in
is
the
actually
hell?
They're
this
both drunk.
yeah.
And through the lens of what we've seen in Picard season 3, this is really takes on a whole new
Oh yeah.
unintended
This
flavor.
that was delightful. Like be
Mm-hmm.
playful with it. Don't be gross with it.
That's how they'll.
Of course. Because nobody's thought about repulsor beams.
Ever. I mean, I am a natural repulsor beam, but I didn't build it on purpose.
Or hear me out. Chuck the Tolofsky at it.
See, I can't do it. It would take
Sure
weeks
can.
of doing it. Why can't you just see it in your head? And she's like, now I will say this is the best use of LCARs that I've ever seen in any Star Trek ever.
Mm.
Wesley did this right.
He did not just touch randomly. He was
Mm.
like here, then here, actual buttons,
And
not
like tracing with a finger on things.
yeah. He was one of the few actors that he would always act as though the camera could see it.
Yes.
So many other people, Voyager is especially bad.
Oh yeah.
Just like
They
tap,
didn't care.
tap, 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 tapping.
Infinite doses.
Bev.
What the hell?
Did you see? Wait, go back. Did you see his eyes? It's worth going back. Like 10 seconds. Maybe more now. Okay, right here. Watch as he turns to leave.
He loves her. And he can't admit it. Don't distract him right now.
Yeah, see, like he traces.
That looked manic. Oh, they are going to throw it at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke.
That's where Riker came up with the idea to throw a ship at another ship, or an asteroid at a ship.
It makes no sense.
That didn't
It
work.
would have space. It's space. It would have impacted it somehow. It would have changed its trajectory slightly. That ship was
Right?
too big.
All they needed was half impulse. Look at that guy. It's just
Goofy.
Yeah. Like, okay, now here's what we need. Just a really doofy grin from you and then walk away.
The boy.
and don't you forget it.
Mention him. You're the one who saved our asses. I mean, yes, it was his fault too, but goddamn.
Also, notice the helm and ops. They're tilted toward each other. They're not just facing straight ahead like they would for most of the series. They still hadn't figured that all out yet. Awkward.
It's, as long as y'all don't start banging each other, this crew's gonna do
I was going
great.
to say, right? That's
Speak for yourself, Captain. And that is the third episode.
wow. Wow.
I like that they went to the trouble of making it turn just to show it again.
Coming straight on again. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
you touched on something there with the Elcars and how he, actually figured out how the things worked. And like he actually knew. He'd asked them, "Hey, what does this do? What does this do?" And I've had a couple of interesting conversations about that, Stan. I'm a guy I'm friends with, Andy. Um, actually worked on Picard's seasons 1 through 3,
Nice.
and he was the guy who did all the animation for the Elcars menus and did a lot of work on the Elcars. He went to he was in college with my brother at William and Mary, and his hero was one of his heroes was Mike Akuda. And so when he got to actually work with him on season 3 of Picard, like they actually worked together on things, and it was just
That's
insane.
cool.
He also was the graphic designer for the unification short that we watched that came out last week, and he works for the Roddenberry Archive now.
Very cool.
We're going to take a quick break because I have to use the restroom and I need tea
And the rest of us need to prepare for Code of
to
Honor.
brace for impact. So we will be back in a few
Thanks
moments.
for having me.
Yes, sir. right, folks, we are. Oh, apparently there are two of me. How about two of them? Turn that off. And maybe make John a little bit bigger so it doesn't look weird next to me. All right, we're going to get started on episode 4, Code of Honor. So buckle up.
The original director objected to casting only African actors and was fired from the.
Wow. They're beaming to the cargo bay?
Yep.
Why not the transporter room?
There are some members of the cast that have actually actively asked to have Paramount not show this again.
Really?
I think it's very telling that we are just very quiet watching.
Well, that was very easy. This is going to be an episode. Yeah, I like Voyager's intro better, but the music, man. This music is Star Trek to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Mhm. That clap later becomes a meme, even though he was being sincere in this particular case.
Those chairs are something else. After all the jokes in Lower Decks, that line means a whole lot more. Hmm. I just want to notate of the crewmen in the room, the only alien is the one who said that.
Good point. If you look at the windows there in the background, they had all sorts of glare on them.
Yeah, it's looked like some plants or something outside. Like the sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Benji? Like, you couldn't do this in like a cargo bay or something? Or, I don't know, make a whole like gym? This is called budget. Damn. This dude's whole job for this episode is just get chucked.
Yep.
Looks a little bit like Schwarzenegger. Just without the,
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger build. Ooh, 3. Hmm.
The music for this episode was done by Fred Steiner, who'd written many, many, many episodes of TOS music. And it's the only one of the entire series that sounds a lot like the original series. If you listen to these cues,
Yeah, I noticed that a second ago.
whoops. Why
He's-
does he just stand there?
I was gonna say, what? You're just awful calm. I'm sorry. Photon torpedoes activated for a primitive world. I agree, Benji. That's what I'm saying. Is like the atmosphere would have been better.
Notice that Worf isn't here.
I don't know where's war. If that's 1,000 meters, I am 1,000 feet tall.
Never
Or
know.
transporter people. Huh? He's horny. let me divert you to episode 3. Hmm.
Oh, that's problematic.
What?
The ritualistic way they do things. Also, the only time in Star Trek you hear a 0.32 or 0.2 numbers. It's always just one number after the point.
Right now?
Well, you know.
It just hit me that Wesley's entire career is because of nepotism.
Yep. Which again came about with it was made as a joke at the end of Picard. How did Riker know he was there before he was fully off the turbolift?
I was like, wait a
Just
minute.
insulted him. What do you want?
Well, that was a face.
Remember, he doesn't like. Oh, by the way, that waterfall is used about another 50 times over the course of the episode of the show.
It almost looks like what's the Native American tribe from the American Southwest? Is it? It's not the
Oh,
Inca, is it? They had the adobo huts, or and some of them were built into the side of walls.
uh, mm, Pueblo or um,
Pueblo sounds familiar. Did she punch that guy in the eye?
Good question.
It's lower than the other one.
It is.
But see, look at the buildings. They all look very... I guess Pueblo.
Ruh-roh.
Mm.
Vaccine. And no Lieutenant Yaw.
For what? What exactly are they going to do to your ship?
Yeah. Whoops. Notice that lamp in the background.
It was like a dragon
That
egg.
and that and a couple like it that are different shapes, mostly between that oval and round shape, recur through the first season a lot.
Hmm. Wait, the dude is married and he's like, I want you instead?
Yes.
Well, that dude's a douche.
Oh yeah. Racist and sexist.
So, sexist, yes. Why? So, I think they said at the beginning, the women own the land.
Yes.
Okay. Is he shaving?
He is. I don't know why he's doing it in the middle of his living room, but
The Borg. He looks like he's about to murder him.
again, why would the tongue slip? But
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like seeing this advance their friendship very, very early in the show.
Why couldn't they just yank her back?
Because they need the vaccine.
Well, yeah, I know. That 30-second microcosm is TNG.
Yep.
This is becoming a speech. You're entitled. You're the captain.
Believe that is Ensign Youngblood.
I'm sorry, what?
The guy in the blue. He was a recurring character.
Yeah.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, they gave him a nickname of Ensign Youngblood.
Hmm.
Yep, that was Ensign. Actor's name was James G. Becker. He unfortunately passed away December of 2014 at age 48. He was a background actor that was in the first 3 seasons of TNG,
Hmm.
and had been affectionately given the nickname. Let's see.
There's another one. Lamp.
Yep, and that one's the round one, the sphere.
Dude, Benji, I didn't even think about that.
Look at that one. It's kind of mushroom shaped. Hang on, that one
Oh,
right
that's
there.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
John. Yars foe.
Uh-huh.
Yarina.
Ah.
Yes, Benji, that is correct. Eh?
So the woman who plays Jarina, her name is Carol Selman. She actually worked at Star Trek: The Experience, a totally different role, but that was the Los Angeles hotel attraction that had the Quarks bar and had that weapon is also shown many of the times throughout the series for totally different things.
Well, this is
Cage fight.
Cage. This is not intimidating at all.
Uh-huh.
You know the Star Trek Vegas thing that they had? It was in the Westgate Hotel. You'd go in, you'd be on like a shuttle, and it would be attacked by the Borg, and Janeway would show up. And
That's what I'm talking about. It was called the Star Trek
oh,
Experience.
that was
It
in
was
Vegas.
actually in the Marriott. Yeah.
No, it was in
Did
the
I say-
Westgate in Vegas. It closed like 6 months before I walked into the West Gate, excited to see it. Yeah, they had a big like door that was shaped just like the Enterprise doors.
Oh, it
But it
was the
was
Las Vegas Hilton. Now it's called the Westgate, but it was at the time. Yeah, at one
well
point it
now
was
I think
called
it's something else.
I'm sure it probably is
Because
now.
I think Hilton rebought it or something, turned it into a curio. What kind of jacked up weapon?
And all the tips have.
Oh, it's like a boxing match.
Oh yeah. All the tips on the weapon are poisonous.
Hmm. Just so choreographed. There's so many unnecessary movements happening.
Oh yeah.
Like the twists and the
And he's dead.
really.
Whoa.
Man, it's like watching the Tyson Jake Paul fight. Move.
So they just kidnapped them right back.
Yep.
If somebody ever tries to kidnap you, you kidnap them right back. Uh, oh.
Hmm. I'm sorry. Did what? Wow. Now get the hell off my ship.
They totally forgot they left Wesley at the con.
Same.
Or at Ops. He's just been milking it. Wait a minute, what? Another episode, another crazy sweater for him.
Huh. All right. I I need to ask. So, other than all the crew or all the inhabitants of the world being black, what was the racist portion of this? Because I want a clear understanding. And if you're in the chat, like Benji, if Stan, you're out there, because you will never see a worse episode of Star Trek. It's all uphill after that.
He's not wrong.
It's not a great episode by any metric, period. But is it the fact that the dude made the primitive culture all African American or African European or whoever? I don't know the nationality of these gentlemen and women.
So, well, first off, yeah, the fact that they just arbitrarily decided to be African American, and that's a big part of it. Had that not happened, that may be the costuming was very very evocative of African cultures,
Okay.
and honestly, a lot of the things they did were very, very very much set to look. That's the biggest reason I think.
Okay. Well,
Let's see.
I mean, I get it, but I was really expecting like something hardcore from the way all of you reacted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't great, but
Well, so you have Lutan going for the blonde-haired white human female, and went through subterfuge to get her. There were stereotypes, backwards alien humanoid culture that resembled African culture, even the buildings and where they were located, if you looked at the matte paintings, didn't they don't show them. I think it was an odd choice to not have uh, um, uh, Michael Dorn in this episode. It's one of the only episodes. There was 2 in the first season he didn't show up in. This one was kind of conspicuous that they didn't have him in there.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's kind of that Euro. And I'm reading this on a site, so I'm totally blatantly stealing this out of Reddit, but Eurocentric romanticism. Just the idea that there's just so much theming, and that's the biggest concern. It's not a great episode.
No, it wasn't at all. Like I could think of 1,000 different ways to do that better, but I mean,
and it really wasn't the writing; it was just
it was the aesthetics.
yeah,
It wasn't the
yeah,
topic. It
right.
like I get what the general feel is, but when I watched this, I watched it waiting for like Picard to start talking about them being primitives or something. Like there was that, but 99% of cultures are going to be behind the Federation.
Sure.
Like, that's why the Prime Directive exists. And
I think their idea here was it's a planet of African American people who they find to be quite backwards culturally, and who yet themselves consider themselves to be a much more higher standard society than these wild Federation people that are joining them. And I think
well, I mean, that's what Native Americans like. They had a very sophisticated socio like culture and how it was all
right.
structured. And settlers came in and said, "Oh, I own this rock." Well, you can't own the rocks. Well, yeah, we can. It's I get what you're saying. I understand that.
Yeah.
I just
It's a very I've also read by somebody else, and I kind of agree with this, kind of a 1940s tribal African stereotype to the entire culture and the concept and just the way it's put together. And that's where most people now, frankly, for me, I have as much trouble with it being sexist as it is racist.
Now that yeah, I get that. But yeah, I don't know. Well, folks, why don't you out there, leave your thoughts on what was the first episode called?
The Naked
hard
Now.
time, not hard time. Wow, Naked Now. Well, technically, I guess it would. Whatever. Anyways, the Naked Now and Code of Honor. Next week is the last outpost and where no man has gone before. So we will see.
Much more interesting episodes, still not without their problems, but much better choices. Well, Naked Now is fun. It's dumb. It's not the way that it should be done, but and it was really not doing a copy of an original series episode. Even when you go back and references, still not the best thing to do.
Right.
As the first non-pilot episode.
Yeah, it was out the gate. That was an odd choice. Yeah.
There are 2 episodes of Trek. One in the first season, one in the second season. The second season was an episode called "Up the Long Ladder," that has a culture that's very biased against Irish people, and it's surprisingly and jarringly so. But that's what it is. But no, the 2 episodes coming up next week, I think, are going to be much more interesting for us,
Cool.
and I think we'll enjoy those two. Um, both of them have some very interesting uh, plots, and you get to meet somebody that becomes very important to Wesley going forward. So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool deal. All right, folks. That has been our Trek Tuesday watch along. Thank you, John, for being here. Thank you, Stan, out there. Um, hopefully, we'll have Jay back. We have. I want to show this off because I took the time to make it. Where is it? Here's his nameplate, but here is Jay.
hey, there we go.
All right,
you get to
folks.
come back next week and see a character that Armin Shimmerman, who best known as playing Quark, says
Oh,
that he was directed to jump up and down like crazed gerbils.
great. All right, folks. You have an awesome night. Stay nerdy. We will see you next time.